Alright folks, I'm going to review the process and the builds of Ray Paez's sublimated belt flags. So this is what he mailed out to me as a demo piece, and I'll be turning this into one of the belt flags. It already has pre-marked on it the lines. The only line missing is the one over here for following my poor man's belt flag design. This will be done in a little bit. I gotta trim this side off and a few other things to prep it. But first thing to look at is the quality of the sublimation. So I'm stretching this out. The number maintains. It doesn't begin to fade when you stretch it or pull it weird. It's very flexible. I would say there's no, it doesn't, you know, this is not a screen print. This is not a batik style paint job, etc. And you can customize this to however you want them to look. This is just simply the generic design that I requested. And, well, generic design that he offered after what I requested. So, but this is the initial idea of it, and I'm going to set up for the next stage here. I need to cut off this excess fabric. I'm assuming when he does these prints, he's going to reduce the excess that he sends to you. Super boring Bart. I am taking my chalk line. I'm going to get down the spaces that I need to mark. For removing the excess fabric. Once again, he generically has lines already marked across everything. Just in this far side, he forgot to do it on the demo piece that he sent me. I am sure with all future orders he will be doing this appropriately. And this is my quick chalk marker. I'm going to trim off that excess. Alright, so now that I trimmed off the excess, the next thing I have to do is pin it. Now, with this design and how it is in the album on my page, to do this is you pin it inside out. So we take the graphic and fold it together from the outside. And then make sure the blue is even. I'm probably going to speed this up, so there's no point in talking. Alright. Well, we want to slow down at this point so you can hear me. And have it pinned most of the way down. It would be smarter to iron this right now, but I hate ironing, so not happening. So next up, I have it turned inside out. I have my sewing machine already prepped. If you needed me to show you how to set up the sewing machine and turn the sewing machine on, I recommend you go to a different YouTuber for that purpose. Of course, I didn't turn the sewing machine on. Blah, blah, blah. That's my preferred settings. I highly recommend magnetic needles. if you don't have want to get a cheap one, you get this. No attempting to help in the background. One of the first things I'm encountering with this is it's really stretchy fabric compared to other fabrics, like normal fabrics that I use in sewing, because I normally sew with like linens and wools. This is a modern fabric, so you got to hold it tight, got to maintain tension. Alright, do my zigzag stitch like I do. And I'm going to do my straight stitch down the same area. This is just my personal preference. I'm sure smarter sewing people than me can yell at me for everything I'm doing wrong. Somebody wants to be a star. I assume they're partially showing up in the camera, and there they are fully showing up in the camera. Cannot not be the center of attention. This is Bolo. He's a beast. Just set off our DNA test on him. Get to find out what he is. Other than a pain in the ass. Yes, sir. All right. So we're gonna pause this till I get him out of the way. All right, after harassing Moa out of the way, turned her inside out. Let's see how she's looking. Turned her right side out. So as you can see, the number lined up. These lines are to let you know there's the edge. That's where you should end up with. Go on the back side and I stretch her out to see if I missed anything. It's not a super tight stitch. I definitely needed a better, tighter stitch. You can see those lines popping through. You can see the blue popping through. But most of that you're not going to see anyways because it's on the back side. If you see the back side of this, then there's something wrong. So there's that. I'm going to turn it back the other way for doing the bottom edge. All right. So someone's gone through some trauma today, apparently. So, regardless of that, we've turned her inside out. You can see through and see the lines here. So what you're gonna do is make sure you find your edge line that he has marked, which is this blue line, which theoretically you can see right here. And then you fold it over on that point on both sides. Or you can just look at this triangle that you have. Make sure you got that fold along the edge lines on both sides and do a stitch. So, I see those marks. I'm gonna go for it. You have good lighting. All right, I gotta pause a second because I cannot find the foot pedal. All right, we're back on. So I was able to find the foot pedal past the beast. All right, and Did he unplug the pedal? How that turned out after the fact. May have the seam rip of this one. We'll see. All right, after that is done, you turn it inside out again, and this hopefully does not show up. Once again, I am not a professional. There are probably people who can do this better than me. So this is like a sock at this point. And the final little tidbits, I could have cut off the excess, which I did not do yet, but I wanted to show you what the results look like. So I'm going to use a ruler to get more of this in place. Oh, and I missed the whole section. See, already got that little tear point. So I had to go back and re-stitch that. So I'm going to repair that and redo this. All right, I did those repairs. So we have to turn it inside out, and then we have to hide this end, which part of this end is we're going to just chop off this tip here. So tucked in anyway. All right, so I trimmed off the corner bits here, trimmed off the excess blue. Once again, untucking a sock, like I said a few minutes ago. See how I end up here. All right, now the fun part of making all this pop out well. Take a ruler or some type of other object and use it to help push everything out. All right. Once again, I am not a professional, but it turned out okay. If you iron this, it turns out even better. So, next up, we want to close the sock off. All right. So I'm going to tuck this in and roll it. Give myself some room there. All right, set that up. pin that down, close it off, be doing the belt loop after I do this stitch. Alright, so now we've got our closed off sock. Everything's generically done. We're going to do a belt loop. Some people have a variety of different sizes of belts. I'm going to go with a 3 to 4 finger width belt assumption. This has more than enough room for. Flip it to the side and we see how it looks there. I'm going to turn this in so it gives a better final look overall. All right, and then we got to pin that down in place. This is going to leave a white line because I'm using white thread. So it is something to consider when you do this stuff, is switching out your different threads as you do the different sections. Alright. Better to stitch from this side because I can see exactly what I'm stitching. So I need to unpin and repin this. Alright, I fixed that mistake of a pin job. Alright, this is a pretty thick thing. I have at least 4 layers. This needle and this thread, and this machine are supposed to be able to handle jeans. So this shouldn't be an issue. As you can hear, it's an issue. That chunk, 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 chunk is, it's stressing out. The belt flag is done. That's what people are going to see from the outside. I think it looks pretty decent. Once again, I am not a pro. The amount of time it would take me to make these, getting the blanks from, well, not really blanks, but getting the pre-inked versions and all that stuff from Ray. I would probably charge at least $10 to sew each one of these. So when you're finding people willing to sew these for $15-20 a piece and they're doing the embroidery and everything, it's a heck of a deal. Just saying. I don't know what he's gonna charge for these because this was a demo piece, but I think it looks pretty good. Let's see how it's holding up. We also have a guide for making your own. A little shitty on the back, but that's, me. That's not his work. But at the minimum, I would charge $10 to do this work. At the minimum. And a pro should charge you that amount, or if not, well, they can do it faster. So you should be charging according to the amount of time it takes, based on a professional skill set, not on a pathetic skill set. Because me, it takes over a half hour, which it should take about 10 minutes. Either way, that's my review of Ray's stuff. I like it. I think it's decent. Definitely from the audience or live stream views or anything like that, no one's gonna realize that this is modern fabrics with sublimated and all that kind of stuff. The only reason you're going to know that is because I'm telling you right now. It's a really good job. I like the stuff. I'm kind of excited about what can be done with it in the future.